choice. I don't have a favorite or not. But let's just take the view that you wanted to do this with nuclear power to close that carbon-neutral, carbon-free energy gap, 15 trillion watts. Well, you could do it that way. In fact, it's arguably the only technology we now have that can scale to that level. Nuclear power plants are built safely now, commissioned by the NRC. They make a gigawatt of electrical output. Quick math says you want 15 trillion watts, you have to build a nuclear power plant every single day somewhere on our planet, starting today for the next 40 straight years. Okay? That's the arithmetic of the scale of energy. It's not 46 nuclear power plants like we heard about in the presidential campaign. That is not even close. And by the way, since they only last 40 years, by the time you're done, you have to start recommissioning the first one. So I like to say you're building a nuclear power plant every day forever. If you don't do that, you better get it somewhere else. You could, in principle, bury all the CO2, carbon capture and storage. If it works technically, we should be trying that. We don't know it works. We don't know you can bury that much of it and not have it come back to haunt you for 1,000 years at 0.1% leak rate a year. People might say it doesn't leak, but we just heard that before, and look what just happened. If you want to get it somewhere else, this is the simple arithmetic. The solar system champion energy source is the sun. Nothing else even comes remotely close. It's pretty simple. You might be able to piece your way together a few terawatts here and there, but it is very hard to see, even if you built a nuclear power plant every week starting today somewhere in the world, that would be 10% of the problem. If you sequestered all the coal-fired power plants, it's another 20% of the problem. You've left 70% of the problem on the table. And that's assuming you keep energy demand constant. If it goes up to 28 terawatts, you've got to make 2 nuclear power plants a day to fill the gap. The big other card we have is that the sun gives us 120,000 terawatts. Okay? So it's pretty clear, at least to me, that we have 3 big cards, and we should, at various stages of maturity, right now, we don't use the sun very much because it's too expensive. We can't afford to do it. And you can argue that maybe if this is a task at which we don't want to fail, that it's probably the case that we can't afford very soon not afford to do it. Here's a map. This map also tells you about scale.